So when we can tell what's out of balance, we tune them, and then the body behaves much better. And that's ready to heal. Now, when you're ready to heal, just expect that your body is going to say, hey, you know, I'm ready to heal. It starts to detoxify and so forth. So use your healing protocols there. For the home user, it's very safe if they just use this, because you're not going to go past what the machine thinks you're ready for. If you're a practitioner, you have a level of gauging. If you have lots of browns, then wait. Do all the treatments with the Diacom, then move into your regular protocols. Because the products that we buy or we have access to are very, very strong. And many times you can just give them that one product, and it's enough, or you can give them many products, and it's too much. Or they need many products because they don't have any energy of their own. So they can eat all that energy from all of those products. They can absorb it really well. Go ahead.
How's the frequency?
Would you repeat any questions you got? So we got
Oh, sure, I will. Okay, okay.
How's the frequency transferred into the liquid?
What
means does it move from the machine to that?
It moves. So the machine has a pre-programmed. Signature. Oh, the question. Good. So the question was, how does the machine transfer the energy into the cup?
Right. How does it move the frequency to, whether it's a cup, it's actually to the liquid.
Yeah,
to the liquid.
In the liquid. How does what
Yeah.
form?
Much like my voice, there's a recording of my sound patterns, and it's played into the cup. The cup has a magnet inside the bottom, and electricity. The recording of the particular remedy or of the actual person's organs are recorded inside a database and played back into the cup's apparatus. So on the base of the cup there is a magnet, and like a speaker, if you look at a speaker, it has a magnet on the top of it with more of acoustic cone, so you can actually hear the sound. There's no acoustics on the cup. The magnet is electrified, and it creates a frequency, and it's amplified into the water. And the water is a great receiver of energy and electricity. So, so the second part, we're on to the third part. So assimilation and elimination. A lot of people like to say you are what you eat, and it's really you are what you can assimilate and what you can eliminate. If you can eliminate it, then that's what you are made of, a lot of toxins. If you can assimilate bread, cheese, all of those things, the body breaks them down, takes them all apart, and then puts them back together into human. So we take either plant. The plant has already done that. The plant is plant DNA. So what the body does when you consume something is it takes it apart and puts it back together into human, or ready for human, including the energy that came from taking it apart. So if you wanted to, for example, you had a liquid, or I was mentioning to someone here, sometimes people come in and they just want me to test them with the cup. So what they'll do is they'll add all of their foods into a little jar, and what I'll do is against the intestines, I'll place their item into the cup and I'll test that item against them, kind of like muscle testing. So it will tell me, does the frequency of this item weaken the body or strengthen it? So there's a strength and weakness test, just like the way the muscle will get weak, also introducing something that weakens them. Some people do this naturally when they'll pick something up, and whether they lean forward or backwards is also the way they test things energetically. Well, the cup is doing that the same way. It's testing to see if your body becomes weaker when it presents that information, or if it loses that strength. Ultimately, the machine is doing what a lot of people who have the ability to muscle test do. So the devices are just replicating that talent in an energetic level. Allergens and heavy metals. It does have a list of allergens and heavy metals that you can present to the body and see how it gets weaker. That tells you the significance of that allergen inside of the body. the strengths are going to be of the machine are going to be in the supplementation testing when you actually have the physical item. There is something, there's some cables that come with your unit. These cables go with a separate program called Frequency. Frequency is designed to, like a rife machine, resonate and destroy the viruses, microorganisms, all of the parasites and so forth. And this is what mainly the program's about. So outside of what the program does, just so that everyone understands, the body can take care of viruses and microorganisms on its own if it has enough strength to do so. So the strengthening aspect of here is to let the body take care of it. If it's more aggressive or the body is overrun with it, we can move on to the frequency program. The cables attach to little sticky pads, and you can do a 15-minute treatment. There's a body weight scale that goes along with this. So from kids to adults, you want to go by body weight according to the amount of time that you want to set. The last part is sometimes people say, are my cortisol levels high, are the cortisol levels low, and so forth. In more advanced usage, the program will actually tell you what the range of the cortisol or hormone levels or things inside the blood, just like a way an allopathic doctor uses blood tests. You can go in there and ask it, is it within normal range? Now, normal ranges, of course, differ from person to person. The nice thing about the Diacom is that it's going to be normal range against you. It will give you information.
Can you then take that information and imprint that into a cream, for example, or into any sort of other medium to make it?
Like a progesterone or and so forth. I don't see why not. I haven't. Everybody's more creative. This is a creative way of using it. Yes, yes. So it's a possibility. Yes.
Bioidentical because it's specific to.
It's specific. Exactly. It's their frequency. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the nice thing is that when you're working with this program, you're working with their recorded frequencies. So it's a brand new information for everybody that's unique to them, and that's what attracted me too much, because I'm very much into individualism. When anybody comes in, I treat them from scratch, and I make no assumptions so that they get the best opportunity for all of the things that there is. And the Diacom seems to its accuracy in the business world, we always say everything is 80-20. So to be fair, there is an 80% accuracy that I have seen with the device, although personally I say it's much, much higher than that, because many times things that it detects can even be something that will happen within a year without any change. So people who come in, I tell them here are the things that are going on. I'll see them months later. I actually did have a client that came in a year later. I had told him he had severe IBS. They removed about 6 inches of his colon later, and he was, I don't know why he was apologetic to me, but he says, I'm sorry, you did detect it right a year ago. So I said, well, now our options have changed, but we still can scan them again and see where we're at. So that's the thing is, now we see what the state of the body is in now, and we can move forward from there. There's only moving forward. And when you move forward with good data, that's all that's necessary. All data is good data. It's not knowing or not having the metric or not having the knowledge about the person. The unknown is always what we fear the most. So once we know everything that's going on, great, we can fix it. It's not a problem. It's things that we miss. So everybody's, this is the basic unit, and this is the Ermium software. Ermium is what makes all of this possible. There are going to be more updates. There's going to be additions to hardware in the future, but everything has to be regulated in the European Union and then gets over here, which I don't know, it gets lost in the FDA cycle. So that is something that I'm working on, is to get the device FDA registered, so that it's known by them. We're not hiding anything, and also getting it some kind of class 3 to medical device. So we'll have something in there. They may make the software locked, and then we have to open it up later for it to pass for those with a license. But of course, there is in the software itself, it is now by default turned off, so it's home friendly. And then there is a setting in there that you can turn on for health practitioners that give you all the information. Some practitioners who use themselves, they don't want to know certain information. They're just like, let me work on, just let it do what it does. I don't need to know, which is good, because many times we don't want to name things because it tends to give it a little bit more of a power. So yeah, so we want to do. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to do a recording of a demo. And we'll run through all the steps. I want everybody to learn it, the home style, which is how to treat themselves, and not pay attention to any of the advanced stuff and advanced information, because that's all that's necessary. Once we complete that, then we can get into more details. I know everybody has a lot of questions, but Michael is a pro. He just did 3 days of the training with me, but practice makes perfect. So we're all going to be in that same level. So the more we use it, the more we'll bring up the information very fast. Okay? All right, great.